There we go.
Cool.
Excellent. So thank you for that, Laura. So as you all know, one of the major components of the Emerging Leaders Program was the development and creation of this 3-year strategic growth plan. And something that we're looking to innovate on is specifically that. That's really what we consider the cornerstone of the program. That's what every participant walks away with. And ideally, in developing this growth plan through your Emerging Leaders experience, hopefully you've walked away with a couple of things. Hopefully you see the value in setting time aside to work on your business. And secondly, hopefully we've given you a framework and some tools to do that type of planning on a regular, ongoing basis. We realized that the format in which you developed your growth plan, using a Word document, it can be very clunky. As you start to type into the Word document template, tables can get rearranged and morph and it can be a little bit of a challenge, just to kind of keep the formatting the way that it was originally designed. And what we've gotten as feedback is many people feel like they're struggling more with just trying to complete the growth plan and then, actually spending time thinking about what is actually going into the plan, right? The real goals, the action steps. We got a lot of feedback that people are just struggling with the format. And so we're looking at how can we do that differently. And we've begun to have a conversation with a company out of Eugene, Oregon called the Palo Alto Software Company. And they have a product called LivePlan, which is primarily marketed towards someone who's looking to start a business. So it really helps with that initial business plan that you can then take to get some financing or take it to potential partners that maybe you want to bring into the business. So obviously our target market is different. We're working with people that are already in business and have been for at least 3 or more years. And we're not helping you create a business plan. We're helping you create a growth plan and a strategy for growing. And so we've been working with LivePlan for a little while to try and customize their software so that it's more in line with our growth plan template. And so what we have today, and what I'll show you via my screen share, is that kind of customized, built out growth plan within this software. So let me just pause there. Any questions about what we're looking to do?
No.
Okay. So again, the goal is to hopefully give our new participants, when they enroll next year and in the years after, and give all of our alumni a growth plan tool that they are feeling is much easier to update, iterate on, and just stay connected with. Our goal is that this growth planning process is ongoing. That you're checking in regularly. Are you completing your action steps? Are you adjusting when things don't go according to plan? So we want to develop a tool that makes it extremely easy for you to interact with your plan on a regular basis. Create a tool that you can easily share your plan with other team members, maybe mentors or coaches that you have. And so we're looking at something that hopefully is providing a lot of value, and it naturally encourages you to stay connected with your growth plan and not just kind of put it on the shelf, so to speak. Okay, so on my screen, we have kind of the landing page for this growth plan tool. Across the top toolbar, there are multiple tabs, and we'll go through these, but I'm going to start at the plan tab. And again, on this plan tab, we've tried to mirror the growth plan template that we had as a Word document. And so on the left-hand side here, where you can see my mouse, my cursor, it highlights the major categories of the growth plan. So we start with the elevator pitch, and then we get into a company, and we see company profile. We can get into mission, vision, values, and then we get down to your big vision. Where do you want to be in 3 years? And then we get to the growth goals. So again, what are the 3 to 5 goals that will help you get to that vision, that big vision that you have? And then we have specific action items that are associated with each of the growth goals. Okay, so again, high level, these are all the major components of the growth plan here under the Plan tab. Before I move forward, I just want to show kind of how easy it is to update these sections. So if you're on the elevator pitch tab and you've found some new fun way to pitch or present your business, and you want to make some updates, you can come over to this quick edit button and hit that, and it's going to pop up a block that you can type into, just like as if you were typing an email. Okay, so you can just make changes immediately. You have some control over, formatting up here, adding imagery, hyperlinking, etc. And when you're done, you just click done, and you have that, and it's going to show right here. And then again, you can get feedback. So the way that this would work when you're in your class. So if you guys would have done this during your program, your instructor would have access to your plan while you're in the Emerging Leaders program. And your instructor would be able to come in here and just quickly make comments. So this would do away with how you guys did it last year when you were emailing a version of your plan back and forth to your instructor. So all feedback could be given right here in the software, and you would get a notification in real time saying your instructor made some comments. Again, there's also opportunity to share it with other people. You could share it, again, with team members. You could share it, with a mentor or a coach. You could share it with one of your peers in your class if you wanted to get some feedback on your plan from a peer. And you can control that. You can control who views your plan and who does not. But it's just a really quick way to leave comments. Again, you click the comment, and you just type in your comment, and then you hit post comment, and it's going to leave in chronological order all the feedback that's been given. And again, you would just go through each section. So you do your elevator pitch, and then you'd come down, you'd fill out your company profile. So again, you'd hit the edit button, you'd type in your company profile, you'd click I'm done. Again, you can comment on any section of the plan, and you just work your way down. Your services offered, your mission, vision, values, your value prop, again, and you just work your way through completing all of these areas. And again, you'd go into your big vision, you type in your vision, etc. So that's the format. The growth goals, again, come in here, you type in your goal, when it's due, what's the measurement of success. So all the areas that were outlined in the original template that you all worked off of. So let me pause there. Just any kind of initial reactions to this? Does this, based on your experience in completing your growth plan via Word, does this seem like we're headed in a good direction? Just curious, any initial reactions you have just seeing what I've showed you so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. And again, this information is accessible on all devices. So you can pull it up at any time and make changes. And our hope is that for people that are currently in the program, that they start to interact with their growth plan during each session. So it'd be easy if you had a tablet with you just to pull up your growth plan. And as you're learning and having conversations in the classroom, you can in real time just start to make changes to your plan instead of waiting till later to go do that. And then maybe later never happens, or you kind of forget what that thought was that you had. So another goal of ours is to hopefully increase people's kind of real-time response and reaction to what they're learning in the program and how that's translating over to their plan.
And during the class, do the instructors have access to this during the course? So if they want to check in and see how you're doing on your plan, they can just take a look at it? Okay.
Exactly.
So they can give you that nudge you need when you're falling behind?
That's 100% right, Steve. Absolutely. So as you can see up here, right now I'm set up as an administrator, and your instructor would have similar privileges where if I click this drop-down menu, I can view all the companies that are in my cohort, right? So your instructor would see all of the companies that are in his or her class, and they can see the last time you accessed it, and they can just go visit your page and see if you've added new things. And again, they can comment on it. Or like you said, they can give you that nudge. Hey, you haven't logged in 14 days. What's going on? We had the next version was due last week, or we had session last night, so absolutely. They can view all of their companies and nudge people along 100%. All right, let me go back to the example really quick. And so that's the plan. So the plan tab at the top is really where a lot of the work will be done. Just so you can know, you can also make adjustments to this outline. So you can come to the outline section and you can add things to this. We're not saying what we've put here is the only thing that can exist here. So as you can see right here, this is our current outline. This is the template that we've created here. But you can add things that's just drag and drop. So if you do have advisors that you want to list under your company profile, you just take that advisors and you just drag it right in here and plunk it in there. And there's your advisors. If you want to add competition, exit strategy, there are things you can add to this outline. You can add charts and tables. You can do some customized stuff. So again, you have control to really expand this beyond just the bare template that we've provided. At any point, you can download. Yep, go ahead. Sorry, Steve.
Can you import, say, Excel spreadsheets, that sort of thing into this?
Not yet. We have been talking to LivePlan about an import function, especially once we get beyond this pilot phase. If we want to be able to offer this to our entire alumni network, which is over 7,000 businesses now, yeah, we want to try and figure out how we can do quick uploads so that so information can quickly go in. I will say one thing that it can do, Steve, and for everyone on the phone, you can connect your financial software, say QuickBooks Online, to LivePlan, and it'll pull in real-time financial information. And I'll show you that in a minute.
Cool.
So you can connect it to your accounting software, which is a real nice feature. So you're getting real-time data. And then again, you can download and print this plan at any point, and you can print it and download it into a PDF or a Word file. You have choices there. You can also view all comments that have been listed recently here. So again, if you don't want to just go section by section, you can view all comments in one place. The next section is the forecast feature. So this is really fun. This is again opportunity for you to start to look at financial forecasting and do projections into the future. This is going to pull in all your real-time revenue. And again, if you don't want to connect your accounting software to this, you can manually put in the financial information. So it is an option to do it manually. But here you're going to get in bar graph format as well as just regular data, kind of your total revenue. You can add revenue streams. You can look at your direct costs. You can look at your personnel, expenses. Again, it just continues to go right down. There's a lot. You can do cash flow assumptions, and then from within the financials, you can then, just like you probably remember in our finance module, we review the P&L, we review the balance sheet and the cash flow. So again, instead of having to print off your documents when you come into class, you could just pull up your growth plan via the software, and you can just click on your P&L, and here it is. There's your P&L. And again, it's pulling directly from your accounting software. You can look at your balance sheet, and you can look at your cash flow. The other thing that I really like about the forecast is you can run scenarios. So you can say, okay, this is my current financial situation, but you can come up here and you can create a new forecast. And so you could say, all right, I want to start from scratch. I want to use accounting data, or I want to copy this existing forecast. And so you can create one. In this one that we created, we called it the best case scenario. So you want to do a best case, and just type in here really quick. And then from here, it's going to walk you through. So you can go through all these different areas. So you can add a new revenue stream. What would it be like if say I'm a landscaping business and I only do, I do lawns and softscaping, but I don't do any, brick or stone work, and you want to do hardscape. So you could say, oh, well, what would it look like if I did, $500,000 in revenue in hardscape? So you could add that in, you can give it a description, then you select next, and it just walks you through the whole thing. And then you can see, all right, what's my original forecast, right? I can go to my original one. Here's my original. But then I can say, well, if I added that revenue stream, and if the revenue came in the way that I'd hoped it would, this is what our financial situation would look like, 6 months, a year from now. So you can I like that feature that you can play around with forecasts with always keeping your original forecast intact. So you can just kind of run scenarios and play around with it and have fun and say, oh, what if if I'm a bike shop and I add, maintenance repair, service repair to my line of work? What would that look like? How much new revenue would that bring in for me? So I like that feature. We then have the benchmarks feature here. This is really nice. You all will probably remember that in the finance module, Interise provided to each participant a financial ratio benchmark that you could then look at, the ratios within your industry and how you compared to them. We use the same company that LivePlan uses to get that information. The nice thing about here is they're using APIs and software just to pull in ratio information in real time based on NAICS code. So instead of us having to work with that vendor and get PDF copies of each of the reports, you're in control. You can just come here, you can select whatever NAICS code you want, you can type in your NAICS, or you can just search by industry. So you can type in bike, everything related, it's going to give you all the NAICS codes, and you can say, okay, motorcycle and parts manufacturing, and I can select that, and instantly it's going to pull up a whole new set of financial ratios for me based on that NAICS code. And then another nice feature, which we didn't have in our class, is you can drill down. You can say, I want to see the industry average for the entire U.S., or I just want to see a certain region. And then you can go to revenue size too. I only want to look at businesses under $1 million, or I want to look at businesses between 1 and 5 million. So again, this is a nice way to compare your financial ratios to the industry. And again, if you connect your online accounting software, right here would be your real-time results next to these industry averages. So you would see yours here, your gross margin maybe 32, and the industry is saying it's 40%. So it's gonna show you that direct comparison if you connect your accounting software. And then we have our schedule tab. So this is where you would list all of your action items and things that you need to accomplish or people on your team need to accomplish. So it's extremely easy to add a new step. They call them milestones, but you can just add a milestone. You give it a name, you give it a due date, you say who's responsible and some details about that. And then you click OK, and it's going to populate here for you. So these are all the upcoming milestones, and these are the completed ones. Or these are late. These ones they're behind. Excuse me. These are the completed ones down here. And then when you achieve an action step, or as they're calling it, a milestone, you just click the box, and instantly it's gone and it gets moved down to the completed section. And then the last thing is the dashboard. And again, this is when you connect your accounting software. Real information gets pulled in here, and so you can see your revenue, your expenses and costs. Operating income, all this stuff will be populated based on your real financial information, and it'll all be coming in real time. So again, right here, you would connect to your accounting solution. And then I guess the last thing that I'll show you is there's this pitch tab, which is a nice feature. Say you wanted to just quickly give a quick high-level summary of your business. Maybe you are seeking some financing and you're going to go sit down with a lender. Right here, you have this one-page pitch, and it's just a quick overview. You can put your logo here. You add in a little bit about your business. What's the opportunity? What problem are you solving? What's your solution? It shows your target market, who your competitors are, what kind of funding is needed. And who's your team? Okay, and this is really nice because this can be, again, either published to the web. You can make it published and just share a link with someone. You can present right from it, or you can download and print this and bring it into your meeting. So this is just a nice high-level overview of your business. And I think during the course of the program, it could be great used during the live cases or during the final presentations. But even post-program, I think this is a great feature for anyone that, again, is you know, if you're in front of an audience where you need to provide a little bit of an overview of your company, or even more specifically, if you're, again, looking for some financing, I think this could come in handy as a nice visual for meeting with a loan officer or a lender. Okay. All right, I'll pause there. What questions, comments do you guys have?
This is really cool.
Under the dashboard,
yeah, yep.
I assume that you can move those tiles around and that you have different options for which ones you display there. So based on whatever milestones you set, you can move those things and make visible what you need to see.
Yes. Let me just go back to it. I'm not sure if you can move them around. I haven't tried that, and I'm trying to click and move right now. It doesn't look like they're moving. But obviously, when you click on them, you can get more information. It drills down. I'll have to go back and ask our rep if you can add to these, or if these are just the ones you're kind of stuck with. So I'll look into that. Yeah.
And is that the same in benchmarks as well? Are those static or those more dynamic?
These are static. We did talk to him. He said right now these are the only ratios that they can list. There's not an option right now to add additional ones.
Okay.
But we did share that as feedback, and they're going to work with their development team and see if they can eventually set it up so that it's more customizable.
Okay. From space, you know, the same thing, approval.
And there's a little bit of background noise, so if you're not talking, if you could just mute yourself. Thank you very much.
Hello, this is
And what's under options?
Options, let's see. So again, you can set up your company name, when you want to start your forecast, the length of the forecast, multiple languages. So if you want the plan in a different language. Yeah, who has access? You can see who has access, who doesn't. And again, if you want to invite users, you just click that invite user section. You can add contributors. That means they can actually edit the plan and you know, adjust some of the fields. Or you can add a guest, and a guest can just view. And I believe they can comment as well, but I'll need to double check that. Laura, do you remember if that was a feature of the guest access?
I think so. I'm pretty sure that guests can make
Yeah,
comment.
I think they can. Yeah. Okay.
This is Gail. One thing I was thinking when you were going over the financial portion, like people looking at their P&Ls and stuff, is I know that there were quite a few people in our class that was kind of their weakness. And it would be nice if, you know, maybe when you were in those sections, like say the profit and loss sheet and you're looking at it, if there was kind of like an info button where it might give them just a little overview of maybe something we read in the chapter, what they should be looking at or something like that.
Yeah, so that's a great point. One thing that will take a little bit more time is, how do we weave it into the classroom discussion and connect this to other pre-work and that we have assigned for our program. But currently right now, I wish I had a very blank one, but when you, let me see if I have another one. Before you get started, Gail, like this one is already an example that's set up, so it's populated. But when you first get started, this page would start with a video tutorial, and it provides detail about what a profit and loss is. So it does educate you on what a P&L is and where the information comes from, and then you can get started into that. I'm trying to think if I can, I know if you do it, like if I click like on the benchmarks, if I want to click for more detail, this is nice, it's educational. So how is the gross profit calculated? What's better, to have a higher one or a lower one? Is this kind of what you were thinking about?
Yeah, just, you know, I know there were people that, you know, I feel like I had gained a lot of that from my franchise and I benefited from being with the franchise, but there was, you know, people in there that if they didn't do their reading and then they came, but maybe if there were videos, they would be, you know, at least halfway there or whatever, and it would really help them.
Yep. Yeah, and they do have videos for each section. And again, I'll have to ask them how you can get back to it after you've already clicked through it once, because that's the situation I'm in right now. So I'll talk to our rep there and see how we can go back to it. And we have been talking with them, again, if we get into kind of the long-term arrangement with this company, on how we could work to produce videos, training videos, tutorial videos that speak more to the Interise programming, you know, so that there's common language used.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before we talk about the pilot program and kind of expectations and access, any other questions just about this tool that I've shown you?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Great. So as Laura mentioned in her email, we are looking at a 6-month pilot, which would mean that you'd have access to this tool at no charge for the 6-month period. We are looking at just sending out a brief survey. You know, Laura, what was it? Maybe like 5 questions or so? It wasn't too many.
I think 10, but it's pretty simple.
10, okay.
Just sort of, just asking about how you're using your growth plan now, and a little bit about what you're hoping to get out of the pilot.
So we do just have a brief survey that we would ask that you complete. It'll be electronically. We'll send it out via Survey Gizmo. And then once you complete that survey, we will invite you to your LivePlan account, or growth plan tool, I should call it. The invitation will come via email, and we'll let you know, when those things get sent out. Because sometimes I know some of that stuff will get caught up in people's spam folder or something like that. So we'll follow up to make sure that you're aware that it's coming, so you can keep an eye out for it. But it's extremely easy. I'll send. It's just like that. When I invite a user, I'll add a contributor. I'll put in your email address right there. I'll send you a little note. Hey, welcome to your growth plan account for this pilot program, and I'm going to give you access to the Interise example, the one that we just viewed, that ABC company, and then you'll get a copy of the blank template. Okay, so you'll have an example that you can look at, and you'll also have the blank template that you can then turn into your growth plan. And once you get the email, you'll just click on the link. It'll ask you just to choose a password, and then you're set to go. And you'll be in and ready to start completing these sections. And then once you have access to the tool, what we are planning to do is create a small subgroup within our iConnect community, where we can put all of our pilot participants into this little group so that you guys can talk to each other, what's working, what's not. And Laura and I are going to kind of seed that discussion forum with questions, on a regular basis, just to kind of understand how you're interacting with it. A topic could be, have you added an action step yet? What was that process like for you? Did you complete one of the action steps? Did you set your growth goals? So we'll kind of like check in through this discussion board on the iConnect community, and just expect you guys to chime in and let us know, if you're not logging in regularly, why is that? If you are, where do you find yourself spending the most time? What value is it providing to you and maybe to your staff or some of your team members? So throughout that 6-month pilot, we're going to use that iConnect group to be gathering feedback from you all, and also giving you guys a place to talk with each other. Again, ask your questions. What do you like about it? What don't you? What features do you wish it had that it doesn't? What may be confusing, etc. So we'll try and keep all of our communications and data into that iConnect group. And then after the 6 months, we'll send out another brief survey just to get last feedback on how this experience was for you, and what things did you really enjoy about this tool? What do you wish it had that it doesn't? Things like that. And then from there, if you want to continue to use your LivePlan account, our LivePlan account, then there will be a fee. I know LivePlan charges, I think it's $11.99 a month to have continued access to the plan, but we might be able to try and work something out with them. So we still need to talk with our rep there over at LivePlan and see what we can do as far as making it hopefully a pretty nominal fee if you guys want to continue to use this software on a regular basis. Okay.
And the only other thing to add in terms of getting started with this is that we will, so there are a couple different ways that we can get information into this template. And so for half of this pilot group, we'll actually be able to take your growth plan and kind of populate the LivePlan template with the information that's currently in your growth plan. And for half of you, we're going to ask you to actually enter the information manually into the LivePlan software. And the reason for that is to understand if, especially if you haven't looked at your plan in a while, and if we do roll this out to business owners who have been out of the program for several years, that process of revisiting your plan, looking at these goals, having to go through entering dates and team members who are involved in all of that, if that changes things and if that exercise is actually helpful, sort of in revisiting and updating your plan. So it will be completely random who gets the autofill and who, who's manually entering it. But that's also just for us to get some information about the best process for translating the plan into the software.
Yeah. Is there anyone on the phone that is looking at this as an opportunity to kind of start fresh? I know all of you just finished, you just finished a year ago, but just kind of curious, do you feel like this is an opportunity for you to kind of reconnect with your plan? Maybe you haven't looked at it since you graduated, or have you been actively, working the plan and making adjustments? Just kind of curious where people are at, if you don't mind sharing.
This is Steve. Yeah, I'm interested I've been sporadically connecting with it. And so I see this as an opportunity to make it much more dynamic and relevant and easier to access and also share, and like you've discussed. And so, yeah, for me, this is an opportunity to update it and just reconnect with it.
Great. Thank you for sharing, Steve.
This is Gail. Same thing here. I've looked at it a couple times and been wanting to tweak some stuff, and this will make it a lot more, I think, efficient in doing that, and probably encouraging to look at it more often.
Great. Thank you, Gail.
This is Omi. For me, I've been using mine pretty much, but it's been mostly my leadership team that's been involved. Yep. This is a way for me to be able to very quickly and easily pull out some metrics and some screenshots for the rest of the team to give them updates and make the plan more relevant for them as well.
Yep. Yeah, one thing I like about this tool is I think there's opportunity to leverage portions of it during, staff meetings that you may have, or, especially with leadership team, where you can all in real time be looking at some financial information and some metrics and the goals associated with it. So I think there's great opportunity to be able to, use this and have it pulled up in a meeting with your team and, really have real data to look at and real-time data, and also kind of remind us what the goals are and what the action steps are and who's leading on things. So. Okay.
And I saw just Sean chatted in also that, interested in, and I think in response to the question about kind of starting fresh, but she's already reworked the plan.
Yeah.
So, done some work in the past 8 months or so already.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Yes, I just feel it's very important to always look it over and rework it and rework it and rework it. I have already made a few adjustments to my plan and divert it in a couple of other directions. So hopefully with this particular program that you have here, I will be able to then, not only rework the plan, but to have that accountability factor as well.
Right. Excellent. And again, if you, once this 6-month pilot program comes to a close, if you are not interested in continuing to use this software, again, you do have the option just again to download and print your plan. So again, all the work that you put into this over the next 6 months will not be lost. You will have, you will be able to take that information with you regardless of whether or not you want to continue along with the software or not. Okay.
And if we elect not to continue, what happens with the data?
The data will be after you've downloaded it. Once we've got final confirmation that you've taken the information with you, you've downloaded it to your computer and your hard drive, then we will have the information deleted from the LivePlan software.
Okay, and then my question, I'm sure that's quite on everyone's mind, and you might have already answered it, but how much would this particular program cost to continue?
So I need to confirm that with with the LivePlan company. Right now, if you just go to their website, you can see for an individual user to have access on a monthly basis, it's $11.99 a month. But I'm going to try. I mean, hopefully we're trying. If this works out well, and if LivePlan seems like a company that we can scale with, and then we definitely want to work out some kind of arrangement, so that our network members, hopefully get a great fee and can continue to use this at a minimal cost. So we still need to do a little bit more work on that end. But even if we were just to, even if we were to say, oh yeah, this may not be scalable, but if you wanted to continue just to use it, again, LivePlan charges $11.99 a month. And then I think they have it if you buy like a whole year in advance, 12 months, I think you can get it at a cheaper rate too. But
okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, what we're going to do, Laura, are we still on track to possibly send out that survey out by Friday?
Yes. Yeah, I think we can probably send it out tomorrow.
Okay.
Yep. And like Brandon said, once that survey is completed, we'll invite you to your LivePlan. And at that time too, we'll let you know if you got the pick of the hat, whether we might need a little bit of extra time to kind of populate your LivePlan, or you'll be able to go ahead and start transposing your growth plan into the LivePlan software.
Okay, so then my question would be, is there anything in addition to what you may have already gotten? Is there anything else that we need to submit to you before then?
So we will ask for a copy of your growth plan.
Okay.
Yep, and that can happen around the same time that you're completing your survey, or over the next week or so while we're getting everybody set up. But we will ask for a copy of that in the beginning, and then also we'll invite you to join that iConnect group. And so we'll just ask that you log in there and check that out. But as far as kind of immediate next steps, that's it.
Okay, my last question is, and I do apologize, I had a meeting that ran over far longer than I expected.
Nope.
So will a copy of this recording and anything else be submitted to us so that we can review?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
I'll actually post it in the iConnect group so that you guys can access the recording right there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm excited.
And
Great.
Yeah, so are we. And there is help desk support available right through LivePlan. I believe it's, where was it? I know there's a help desk line in here somewhere. Of course, I'm gonna not find it right now.
I think help is right at the top. Help.
Oh, help. Yes, there we go. Okay, thank you. So there's direct help from LivePlan that you can lean on, and obviously you can come to myself or Laura. Best thing would be to post if it's something you don't mind sharing, just posting questions you have to that iConnect group, and then we can respond to the messages there. But this is something we're really excited about, and I know we have a lot of great support from the LivePlan team. They're very excited about this opportunity too. So we're definitely here to help in any way that we can, and we just thank you guys so much for being willing to try this out with us. And again, the more feedback we get, the more we'll learn and understand if this is something that we should try and scale as an organization. So please, don't hesitate to share any kind of feelings or concerns or anything that you have, once you get in here and start to play around with it. We're only going to learn that way. So we just ask that you guys, again, just share as much as you can, so we can learn from it.
No.
Great.
And is there a particular schedule or a plan that we're going to need to follow? Any deadlines?
There's not. When we'll officially, again, we're going to look at 6 months. Hopefully we can get, we'll get the survey out later this week. And then once you've completed the survey, we'll invite you to your account. So it'll pretty much go, from July through kind of the end of the year, but we'll look exactly at a 6 month time frame, and we'll select a cutoff date. We don't have like a timeline as far as, hey, we want you to have, all these fields populated by a certain date. What we talked about yesterday is using that iConnect group and the discussion forum within that group to encourage you guys to do new things. Like, again, maybe it's, hey, have you created an action step yet? How was that? Was it easy to do? Did you assign it to a team member? Did you complete any of them recently? So we're going to kind of seed that discussion forum with certain questions to hopefully both be kind of nudging you all, on doing certain things. One of them may be, have you tried to create an alternative, financial forecast for your business? If not, here's a video on how to do that, and let us know how that goes. So we're going to use that discussion forum to prompt activity. But it's not, right now at this very moment, it's not specifically outlined in any way, but that's kind of where our thinking has been over the last couple of days.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Well, I really appreciate the time that you guys have given us and the interest that you have in this. Please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Laura with any questions. What we're going to do as a next step is we're going to set up that iConnect group. We'll invite all of you. We will post this recorded video there, and then we'll be sending out the survey, this week. And again, once you complete the survey, then we will invite you to your LivePlan account. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Excellent. Laura, anything else? Anything that I'm missing? I
don't think so. Sounds good.
All right. All right. Well, thank you all. I wish you guys all a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll be talking very soon.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.